Hey yo.
Hello, and welcome to the Knit Girls. This is episode 562. I'm Laura, also known as Lala.
I'm Leslie, also known as You Don't Call Me Les. Laura and I both use the she, her pronouns. It is February the 10th, 2022, which still sounds weird.
It is. Leslie's wearing her glasses like she was working.
My blue screen blocking.
I love those glasses,
Yeah.
by the way. I wear them at work. If you have issues with like your eyes being fatigued from screens
Or
I
getting
highly...
headaches after working at the
Yes.
computer. They're relatively cheap now.
Oh yeah, super cheap. Like I think I got mine on Amazon,
Mhm.
as you do, and I think they were like $10. And they make me look like Harry Potter. Not really, but they're the big round ones. Mine were not fashionable.
Um,
They were cheap.
I have a pair of red framed ones that are very clearly um, made to look good on the internet and less great in person.
Aw.
But
I was just like, whatever one of these, because I wasn't certain they were going to work.
yeah.
So I was like, whatever pair is the cheapest so I can try them. So, but surprisingly, my kids have not said anything about them. That means that they are being decent humans. Maybe?
As they usually are.
Yeah, they are usually.
Um, so yeah, it's been a week. I don't have a super ton to show, but
I have a hat.
it's really, really pretty.
It's very long. But yeah,
Why don't
that's
you
all
tell
I've
us
worked
about your
on.
hat?
Okay. I am still working on my Knit Spin Farm socks, but they got no progress this week because I am obsessed with this hat. So this is the Musselburgh hat by Isolde Teak. If it looks super long, it's because it's just basically a hat tube. So you start off at the very top and you do increases out, and after you get around an inch, you measure your gauge, which is super cool because you can use any weight yarn with this. And at that point, you decide how many increases you're going to do to create a hat that will fit a human being or whatever you're knitting a hat for. And then you just knit this giant tube until it is a specific length. I am going to, I think 18.5 inches. I might go a little longer. We're going to see how well this yarn holds up. And then you do decreases, and basically you pull them into each other and you have a double layered hat. So it is great for any kind of yarn. I am using some hand spun out of Spotted U in a bird based colorway. She's not currently dyeing. It was a silk sparkle blend. So you might see some sparkle, but it's really, really pretty. Blue eyed, blue eared, blue something. Sparrow, starling, some kind of bird. We're very specific here. I got some helpful hints from some people that what a lot of people are doing is they are weighing their skein when they start. They're weighing their skein after they finish the increases, and then they go until they have that same amount of weight left, and then doing the decreases.
Smart.
Super smart. So, I did not do that ahead of time. I have this much left. So I'm feeling pretty good. I'm at a foot. This is a foot long.
She said.
So that's what he wishes. Yeah, it's getting there, and I'm just going round and round and round and round and round on some size 16-inch needles. I'm using size 3s because this was 480 yards of a fingering weight. So I should have plenty. I am definitely going to use this in the future because it's great for using like half skeins too, because you can knit half your hat in one color and half the hat in the other color. And it allows you to really use up a lot of yardage, just kind of working around and around and around. It's great for people who have done sock head a ton of times.
Yeah.
And are looking for something new, or maybe looking for a different weight, like a worsted weight or something else. And you could add stripes, you could add some mosaic, you could add some lace, you could do cables if you wanted. It would be very easy to customize in different ways. Fair Isle would be super cool on it. So yeah, that is the first thing that I'm working on. The second thing I am working on is a sweater. It is the Felix Pullover by Amy Christoffers. I worked on it for one night that I had internet.
Laura's
for 2
had
hours.
Internet issues this week, y'all.
I have, and last week. We recorded it on Saturday, and now it's Thursday, and my internet issues were resolved yesterday around 2 p.m. So I was without for sorry, Pearl's been laying on this.
Also, we recognize this is a totally first world problem.
Oh yeah, no, it's really not. It was just very inconvenient to me. So yeah, I started the Felix Pullover. So I am 1, 2, 3 repeats done. The way this works is, which is not my favorite. So I don't know. We're gonna see how it comes out. Every size is the same cast on. So you cast on the same size, and the number of repeats you do alters the size. So you're adding around, but you're also adding
width,
depth.
Yeah,
you're adding width, but you're also adding depth.
Yeah.
So I am doing the second largest. It's also not super size inclusive.
It's an older
it was
pattern
an older
of
pattern
Amy's.
that was made before the conversations about size inclusivity really started happening. And there was a cardigan that came over after, so maybe that is more size inclusive. I haven't looked. I don't own that pattern. I bought this when it first came out.
So you're using something from your library?
From my library and from stash that is over 4 years old. Like, I'm an adult who does things that are responsible.
Who plans and...
That was in the couch stash.
Yeah, I was going to say.
To elaborate on the couch stash, I have a couch from IKEA, and the the chase area of it actually flips up, and there is a huge area to store yarn underneath. Or, like, what it's meant to store is it also has a bed that pulls out and flips up. It's meant to store bedding for that bed, but it stores yarn. Sweater quantities of yarn. Purchased pre-2015 when it got filled.
Which was very shortly after it was purchased.
That's very true. So, yeah, I don't know how, because for me, this is a top-down raglan. This number right here is around 10 inches, a little bit less than that.
She means from, like, her clavicle out to underneath her arm.
Yeah, and I've noticed on Ravelry notes, the people who do the larger size have mentioned that there is it's like a drop sleeve almost, or whatever we're calling those. I don't know what the actual term for that is.
Like bat wing.
Yeah, like it creates a bat wing, and I don't want a bat wing, so what I might start doing is I might start adding some additional increases instead of it uses
you get out to the number
yarn
before.
over, so I increase a little bit more rapidly. We'll see. Also, my swatch after I washed it came out so much nicer than I think there's spinning oil in this yarn. I should tell you about the yarn. So the yarn is Imperial Yarn Columbia, and I'm knitting this on size 9 needles. The ribbing was done on size 7 needles. So yeah, that's why it's going so fast. So I have 3 more repeats to do. So we'll see. I'm just going to go till I get depth, and then I am going to, I'm going to measure and see where I'm at, and then I might continue to add some increases outside the yarn overs, but not on the sleeves, just on the body probably, because my upper arms are much smaller than most people's my size. I say that might not be true. That was a pre-pandemic number. I probably should have Leslie measure me, because there have been some changes. And actually, that's probably pretty good to do anyways. Every year, you're supposed to measure yourself.
Yeah.
to make sure. So I'm doing like size 52, but it calls for like 4 to 6 inches of ease.
That's a lot of ease for that
So
size.
yeah, I was also not gonna do that much ease. So we'll see. I am probably, as you can tell, gonna make some modifications, and I will detail those and keep y'all informed. And it's living in my favorite Fat Squirrel bag, which is the library card.
I feel like that's a total lie. Your favorite Fat Squirrel bag is whatever you're using.
This one has a wrinkle in time on it.
And it's library cards.
And it's library cards.
For all you young people who didn't have to check.
This is what life was.
Yes. Like there didn't used to be a barcode or a QR code. You had little paper things that lived in little envelope sleeve things.
And you would write your name.
Yes. That was
and
always...
it would be like Taylor B, and you're like, who the heck is it? Like, I'm sure the librarians were like, who's Taylor B?
That was always something we did when we got our books at school, was we'd look to see who had them.
Oh, yes.
See if we knew those people.
I just got rid of some. Your name might be in some. I legit just got rid of some books from the 90s.
20 plus years ago.
I got rid of some that were purchased in 92.
Yeah.
So right around your time.
I'm old, but I don't care.
Seriously, I'm old too. Today made me feel extra old. Too old to be doing some nonsense. So those are the two things that I'm actively working on.
Were you twerking? Is that why you felt old?
No, I ran down the stairs to break up that fight. And I'm too old to run downstairs, A, and too old to break up fights, B.
Between teenagers.
Yeah.
Well, preteens, but...
Yeah, definitely. Teenagers.
Mother cracker. I started doing a different stitch halfway through this. I was just like, knit, 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 knit. I don't have a pattern.
We were texting Jude earlier, and she's like, Laura, you look nice, like you've got a suntan. And Leslie's like, no, that's just stress blood pressure issues. Yeah. It's been a day, y'all. And my kids are wonderful 99% of the time. They're teenagers, and sometimes they don't think.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm going backwards.
No, you're fine. So, I'm just going to knit round and round and round and round and round on my hat.
Yeah, I stopped doing the right stitch pattern there. So I got quite a bit to it. It's no big deal, though. So I am knitting a hat by Josie Paquin.
Oh, that's cute.
And I like Josie. I've knit one of her sweaters twice, which is the Miranda. It's the pullover with like the kangaroo pocket.
I like that sweater.
So I wanted something that was simple but had a little bit of texture to it because of the yarn that I'm using. So this is called Adelia. And my project is living in a bag Laura got me ages and ages ago.
Is that Firefly?
Yes. It was by that person who used to make box bags. Starts with a J. She was really popular. I can't remember who it was. And it doesn't have a maker's tag in it. So, anyway, yeah, it's a Firefly inspired bag. And Firefly, a television show from the...
We should rewatch that.
2000
we have so much to watch, but it's such a good show.
Yeah. So I'm using some yarn that I stole from Laura.
She did steal
because
this from me.
Laura bought a few skeins from this, from an update from this person, and it came in, and I was like, I like that one. So,
this is basic. I'll be like, Leslie, do you want me to get you anything as I'm stalking this update? And she's like, no, I'm good. And then it comes, and she's like, I want that one.
Yeah. Do you need 6 skeins? Well, it's usually not that much, but still.
Sometimes.
So it's Sister Anansi yarn in the Purple Crab Nebula colorway.
The dyer it's N-A, I'm going to look it up.
It's N-A-N-A-N-C-E, right?
Bond. Something Bond.
Oh, Bond. Yeah, Naima Bond.
Yes, thank you. She's on Instagram. She's got a great Instagram. And she did this collection.
She's linked in our show notes. Our show notes are found on our website, which is TheKnitGirlls with 3Ls.com. And so it's on the Zebra DK base, which is fun because a lot of the time the color is like, it's the same color across the plies, but occasionally you get these little zebra pops with color in them, and it makes me happy. So I knew I didn't want any like lace or anything too busy because the yarn's busy enough.
It gives a nice depth to it, like to the dyeing. It's really pretty.
Yeah.
It's a very Leslie colorway.
So
too.
it's a simple 4-row repeat. 2 rows are knit and 2 rows are patterned. Not that you would know that since I'm going on like row 3 of knitting, but yeah, it makes me really, really happy. It's very simple as long as you remember what row you're on. And I got
are you using
little...
a counter with it, or are you just reading your knitting?
No, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So
you say that, but
yeah, it's really nice. I have enjoyed knitting it. I did a tubular cast on.
Oh, look at you!
So it'll be a really nice, clean cast. That does mean you have to go and like close up a 2-row hole at the very beginning.
That was a conversation on Knit Group last night.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. If tubular cast on was worth the extra effort. I think it looks really nice in a rib.
Once you've done it a couple times, it's really not that much extra effort. Just getting the motions right for the cast on is the hardest part.
Do you have like a cast on that you go to more than any other?
Isolde Teague's got a tubular cast on.
Okay.
That's wonderful.
But like your basic everyday, what do you cast on the most with?
If I'm doing most everything, unless there's a specific reason that it needs to not be a long-tail German cast on, that's what I use.
The twisted German?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I use too.
Yeah. Unless there's a reason that it needs to be I-cord or cable or whatever, that's what I typically use.
If it doesn't need to be super stretchy, then I just go for long tail.
Well, because I'm such a tight knitter, I always want the extra like stretch that you get with a twisted German.
It does use a little bit more yarn though.
Yeah, it does. But
so if you're tight on yardage and don't need it to be stretchy, perhaps not that one.
You know, having said that, I could have easily done a twisted German cast on for this, but for the brims of hats, to me, I just love the look of a tubular cast on there because it just looks so clean. It looks like there's no end or beginning.
Yeah, especially with ribbing.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, you can't do a tubular unless you're doing ribbing. At least I don't know how on earth you would because of the motion of how you cast it on.
Yeah.
It's like a rock back and forth. So, yeah, so that's the first thing, and that's basically what I've been working on this week. I have a little bit of progress on my sweater, but it is pitifully small. So that sweater is living in a fat squirrel bag.
I like that one too.
And this sweater is Solstice. And it is a brioche, 2-color brioche yoke with just a plain stockinette body. And I had finished the body last week, but I had the sleeves to go, and I still have the sleeves to go. I have started one sleeve, and I've got like, 3.5 maybe inches. It's just so boring. It's just so boring that I can't.
You just need to put on something.
Yeah, I don't have any like TV shows I want to binge right now. Or
well, we have a lot to binge together.
Yeah. So
we have Project Runway too.
Oh yeah. I haven't watched Project Runway in forever.
Well, it wasn't on for a long time. This is the first season past pandemic, I think, that's been on.
It keeps catching because I don't take any care with how I shove it in the bag.
Aww.
And the needles keep catching. It'll block out. Yeah, once you soak it, everything will be fine. But yeah, so this is all I've gotten worked on this week is that much of the sleeve. So as quickly as I got the body done, which was great, the sleeves are probably going to take twice as long. So yeah, that's it.
Cool. Do you have any finished objects?
I do.
Ooh, what do you finish? I didn't even see. Oh yeah.
Oh, those are downstairs, so that'll have to show. I'll show that next week.
The socks or the bowls?
The socks.
Okay.
So I finished some rope bowls last week, but I wanted to dye them.
Oh, cute!
And I did. So I used some RIT fabric dye. These are the rope was cotton, so I just used a dye that was made for cotton. And the idea was to ombre dye them, which was to set them in the dye and let the dye slowly seep up. That did not happen. I left it for like 3 times as long as they said it would take, and it was just not happening. So I just sort of improvised by like squirting a light, layer over the top, and then more layers as it got deeper. So an improvised ombre.
It looks good though.
So these are going to get shipped off to the recipient.
I bet you I can guess who it is.
Never. I don't know what makes you think that. So yeah, they came out really well. The biggest one was the one I was learning on, and I made the base of it just slightly too large, but it'll be fine. Once it's full of stuff, you'll never even notice it.
Nope.
So yeah, these were really, once you got your like zigzag length and width, stitch width set, super easy, went by super quick. So I will definitely do more of them, although I think in the future I will take a page from other people who have like wrapped strips of fabric.
Yeah, I think that's fun.
Around
So
it.
want to try the lights?
Yeah, I've got some lights downstairs from, I don't know, it was like a clearance at Michael's or something, and I got some of those little LED ones for
I have ghosts.
like $1 or something.
Ghosts.
So I have to try lights sewn into a bowl for Laura, apparently.
Yes.
But it's something I haven't tried before, so
There you go. Always learning.
maybe it'll be the next big thing, and Laura will have started it.
Perhaps.
That's it for me. I don't have any.
Oh, I have spinning.
I don't have any spinning, so.
I'm also very much still in middle school mode. You couldn't tell by the singing and everything else. I sing to my kids all day long.
Mainly because it irritates them.
No, because it's not me. Like, it's not mean if I sing it to you.
No.
I sing 4 people per table, please, quite a bit. So the first thing that I have on the bobbins is some Sugared Plums is the colorway name, and the Big Cozy 100% US Targhee. And it is dyed by Spindelicious in Oregon. I like the fact that she spins quite a bit, and so she uses her hand spun to tie the tags on them. And so I was spinning this kind of chunky on my Starling. So I cannot wait to apply that. I think that'll be lots of fun. It was a Christmas colorway that she did, Sugar Plums. So there's lots of yellow, but I'm hoping that pink and there's even some peach in there.
Yeah, there's a little bit of peach in there.
But it's maybe an acceptable amount. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Laura's very suspicious of peach.
Yeah. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. You don't know that because you're not on TikTok.
Nope.
The second thing that I am working on, Leslie wants to steal.
Yes.
It is some sock yarn from Wound Up Fiber Arts in her Super Sock base, which is a superwash merino nylon blend. She also sells like the little bits of top, Nest sells her Nest lids, and Hello Yarn sells her patchwork kit. She does like smaller bits of her sock blend, so you can make.
They're like color bridges or something, right?
No, color bridges is that is fully spun's version, and they're called color bridges because they're
it's the little bit between.
Yeah, between she does like 2 different dye jobs, and it's the bit between. It's the color bridge. But anyway, she sells like little bits of the sock, and you can make like scrappy looking socks, which is pretty cool.
Now, I love when people find a way to reuse what's typically a waste product.
Absolutely. So this is being spun pretty fine, also on the Starling. And this will be a traditional 3-ply for socks. I was thinking about doing it 3-ply 2 ways, but it's a speckle dye and not a repeating pattern dye, so that would not work. And then on the match list, I am long drying a bat from Joanna Knit Springs Farm in last month's Bat Club, which is Amore. It is 56% Targhee, 22% Falkland, 22% Charolais, and then some Sari Silk. So it is super pretty, very Valentine's Day-y, and I'm working on the second part. And then the other thing in my fiber life that told you all last week I would bring, and then I remembered to, is I took a class Robinson on Rolex, and I wanted to show you some of the Rolex that I made. So I did these.
And so while Laura's showing you, Rolex are made by applying fiber to a flat, well, this is how Laura made them, by applying fiber to a flat blending board, which is essentially think like a cutting board sort of with carding cloth affixed to it. I just mean that size-wise, not in quality. And then you can layer colors, you can do all sorts of things, and then you roll it on a dowel and pull it off, and that creates the long, skinny, like tubes.
So to show you how awesome I was at the beginning, this is my first one. And the one I just showed you was one of my last ones. I also have this Halloween-y set. And what else? I have
a lot of different colors.
So what she did was she put up like an inspiration photo, and then you did a blending. You had 15 minutes to create art based on that art. So this one was roses, like a picture of roses.
Yellow roses, I'm guessing?
Yes, okay. Yellow and pink. With so there's some like brown in there from the stem and the greenery. And the sari silk had a couple different colors.
That's a great way to let people sort of find their own way within a scheme.
Yeah.
I dig that.
This one. Yeah, it was super fun. It was a great class. Highly recommend. So I have 2 bags this size, all full of Rolex. I ended up getting around 4 Rolex off of each board. So I'll just divide them 2 by 2 and spin them up. And I think it's going to be loads of fun when I actually get to do it. But yeah.
I foresee you finding this bag in 2 years and being like, where did these come from?
I mean, that's probably... There's 2 bags. They're recycled bags because there were knit spin farm bats in them that I spun. And then I was like, I have these bags to put these Rolex in. Look at me go.
Yeah,
like a boss.
Somewhere in this room, especially after I reorganized, I had so many like things where it was like a single skein in a plastic bag, or just like little leftover bits and bobs, and so I consolidated. I don't throw away like any sort of Ziploc or sealable bags. I reuse them in something else.
Yeah.
And I have a giant bag full of them somewhere in this room.
It happens.
I think it's shoved on top of the bins over there. Let's see, what else? Reading. I am rereading the Legend of Zero series.
I totally read that as Legend of Zelda, by the way.
I mean, that might also be a book series, but...
It's a manga series.
This is a sort of... It's in the world of the military, but it's not nearly as military-oriented as many military sci-fi books. It does involve, different species of alien, and it's a very interesting concept. And I've read all these books years ago, but Sarah King, the author, hasn't put any new books out in a while, and she just put out the 7th book in this series, so I'm rereading. I'm on the 2nd one. So I really enjoy them. They're on Kindle Unlimited, so if that's something that you subscribe to, you can check them out that way. But yeah, that's basically it. I'm not really watching anything. I'm replaying Mario Odyssey.
Oh, that's fun. I need to get on my Animal Crossing. I brought up Animal Crossing with a kiddo. Oh, a kiddo. I have these new animal books, and it's like, blah 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 versus blah blah blah, like sharks versus dolphins, and one of them is tarantulas versus scorpions, and I was like, in Animal Crossing I can't catch tarantulas or scorpions. And he was like, it's okay, Miss Littleman, someday you'll get it. I can't. It's very hard.
I remember catching them. I remember there's an island, a tarantula
I have
island.
never found that island. But that's okay.
And you have to
they just kill me
dig
right away.
holes like strategically so that you can get them to chase you and then catch them.
Trap the tarantulas.
Yep. What about you? What have you been reading?
I'm still listening to, in fact, I did at work today. I was getting new books out and I was listening to the Thursday Murder Club. I got like a whole 4 minutes listened to before I got interrupted.
You gotta grab it where you can, man.
Yeah, oh yeah, every little bit counts. So I am still listening to that. I'm waiting for the murder to occur. I'm pretty sure who's going to get murdered. That's how far I am. There's not even a murder yet. So not very far, but I'm enjoying the way Richard Osman writes. I enjoyed him on Taskmaster.
Yeah, he's a stand-up British comedian. Well, I don't know if he does stand-up anymore, but he's a
got
British
a
comedian.
Game show that he hosts, which is pretty good. Where people have to... It's a lot of, like, wordplay. It's Richard Osman's House of Games.
I tried to watch, I literally just told you, with Jimmy Carr.
Nope.
It was really
Awful.
terrible.
Awful. I tried to watch it too. No, have you watched Richard Osman's House of Games?
I've watched a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're good, but like on YouTube it's hard to get the consistency because they're in like 4 episode segments and it's hard to figure out where the episode's like. I guess if you divide it by 4 you could figure it out, but
Look, math is not our forte. I think we've said that before.
It is not. So, anyway,
I can't decide if this episode should be called Footlong or Suspicious of Peach. It's going to be one of those.
Okay. I feel like we'll use both those phrases over again sometime in the very close future. Now I'm over a foot long. Boom. I have a little frog, too. A little frog stitch marker.
Oh, he is very tiny. He's
He
a
is
polymer clay.
Very tiny. I don't know if y'all can even see him. He's an itty bitty frog. I got him from a Wool Girl Kids.
That is taking me back.
Yep.
That's like 2007, 2008.
That's probably pretty accurate. He's teeny tiny. Anyway, and then I have my Progress Keeper from, I'm going to move it actually.
That's
from Whimsy Stitches.
Rick, yeah.
Rick. He's awesome.
My, I don't have a Progress Keeper, but I have a stitch marker, and I have no idea where, like, the vendor, because Teresa sent it to me.
Aww.
Ages back.
She sent me one that looks like Pearl by that same vendor.
Aww.
Yeah, super cute. And manatees, maybe.
Yeah. I have one that's just the butt.
It's
just the pig butt with a little curly tail.
Leslie loves pigs.
I do.
I think that is about it.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you can think of?
No, we are going to have information about SSK very soon.
Yep. And Patreon. We're going to switch some things up on Patreon.
Yeah.
But in a good way.
You know, hang tight. That'll be coming soon. And we appreciate you all.
Yeah. And thank you extra much to our Patreon supporters.
Extra much. That might be the episode
Extra
title.
much. I teach English as well.
I just like
I had to put that out there before the comments did.
I just had this picture of like you in a review board meeting, and they're like Exhibit A, and they play that last 20 seconds. Extra much, Miss Linneman.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. So,
if I'm gonna get fired, it's not for that. It's for one of the several bills that is passing through the Mississippi legislation right now. Anyway.
We're not talking about government today.
We're not.
You guys have a fantastic week and weekend, and we will talk to you again next week.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.